This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Friday, July 24th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. The city of Columbus is looking for potential developers for a pair of initiatives designed to bolster the city's downtown. In conjunction with the Columbus Capital Foundation, the city has issued a request for qualifications to find a lead developer for what is known as the 4-Pack, which includes the former Sears building, as well as a request for information to seek ideas for additional key parcels of land.
We also call it Finish on 4th, because 4th is our entertainment corridor. But what we have is we have these great recommendations that came out of our plan, and we're really fortunate because we own these properties, right? They're in friendly hands. And so out of that came some really wonderful recommendations. And we recently released a request for qualifications, and so we are anxiously awaiting what we're going to hear back from some lead developers on who gets to help us make this plan work.
LaPorte-based Midwest Recycling Equipment has been acquired by a North Carolina company looking for a Midwest location to further its growth. Recycling Equipment, Inc. is based in Newton, North Carolina, but also has operations in Texas and Pennsylvania. Both companies sell new and used recycling and waste handling equipment such as balers, compactors, conveyors, and shredders. The Grant County Economic Growth Council plans to use a $200,000 grant to launch itself as the county's Certified Entrepreneurial Support Organization, or ESO. The council said the effort will allow it to serve as a countywide resource that coordinates programming and resources for businesses at all stages, from those still shaping ideas to long-established companies pursuing modernization, growth, or succession. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
West Central Indiana is essential to Indiana's future. Join IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the state of Indiana to explore regional growth Thursday, August 13th in Terre Haute for Innovate West Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Featuring Governor Mike Braun and business and community leaders, join us at the Indiana State University Holman Center Thursday, August 13th in Terre Haute. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun and 22 other governors on Thursday signed onto President Donald Trump's expanded pledge to protect utility customers from the cost of new, massive data center developments.
Trump first introduced the pledge in March when he announced major data center builders like Amazon, Google, and OpenAI as signatories. Nearly 200 more stakeholders have joined since then. In the pledge, signatories commit to building or buying the additional electricity generation resources and infrastructure upgrades needed to satisfy their power demands and paying for the full cost. When possible, they'll also add more capacity benefiting the public. They'll operate under separately negotiated rate structures intended to insulate other customers and will pay those rates for the power and the infrastructure brought online to serve them, regardless of whether they use all the electricity anticipated or not. The pledge also includes commitments to boost grid reliability, including by contributing their backup generation resources to prevent power shortages and for investments in local job creation and workforce development. Fort Wayne-based Indiana-Michigan Power on Thursday also announced it has signed the pledge. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana has received a total of $9.1 million in federal grant funding to expand apprenticeship programs around the state. The funding from the U.S. Department of Labor will support 2 different apprenticeship efforts. Indiana will use the funding for apprenticeships in the advanced manufacturing sector. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.